Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final segment of the show is we're getting you set for NFL Monday Night Football tonight. It is the Bengals taking on the Dallas Cowboys, and we got a special guest in studio joining us straight from the pool, I would imagine. Over at the U of A, it is Arizona senior diver Brooke Earley joining us tonight in her final year. Now, is this your final year, or do you have one more left after this,
Brooke?
Brooke?
Possibly take a fifth year.
Could take a fifth year here. Outstanding. Brooke Earley from Southern California has come all the way out to dive here at the Arizona program under Dwight Dumais, who obviously is one of the best diving coaches in the country. What have you taken away from his teachings, Brooke?
Honestly, we talk a lot about he doesn't really care about, the awards. Obviously, those are awesome, but who you are as a person in the end. And we talk a lot about who you grow into and what you say, at his retirement party, and I love that. Is he planning
on retiring?
No, he's young. I sure hope not. No, but he's great, and I learned so much about myself as a person, and it's awesome.
Now, you obviously off to a decent start this year. You've already garnered your first Big 12 award as one of the best divers of the week earlier this year, and then that was for sweeping all of the events in a meet against ranked USC and UCLA, which obviously being from Southern Arizona, you got to love going back and beating those old Pac-12 fools from Southern California.
Yeah, it was super cool. We actually had just one meet that was USC and UCLA and us, but then they split the scores, so it was a little weird, but it was cool.
So what was going right for you that day that you were able to sweep and win all the events?
Actually, it was what was going wrong.
Oh.
The 2 weeks before that, I was having everything going wrong. That week, I was having every medical issue in the book, migraines after migraines. I was barely in the pool. So I kind of went into that meet going, whatever happens, just have fun with it. And I went in, and I of course, had a migraine in the middle of the event. And I get up, first dive, and there's a fly going on right in my dive, and I start.
Now wait, this was which 1 meter or
3 meter was the
okay.
first event, first dive, and I start playing, swatting it for a whole minute, and my coach is yelling jokingly this is gonna go on TikTok, and you know what? And then of course I don't do that dive well, and I'm already starting with just a terrible dive and another terrible dive again, and I was like, oh well, but. I ended up, turning it around. My grandparents were there, and I was like, you know what? This might be the last meet they ever get to see. Let's turn this around. And somehow I ended up doing really well. So
now 1 meter and 3 meter, are those your primary, just those two?
Yes. That's a springboard. Those are lower, a lot less scary than the high ones. Right,
exactly.
So, yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to get up there on that platform like we've been watching from our star Delaney Schnell over the course of the last 12 years. I remember when I first got into broadcasting here in Tucson, I remember interviewing her when she was 12 years old. I'm sure you've had a chance to be around her. What's kind of been her influence on you?
She's an awesome person, and she influenced me in the pool and outside. If you watched her compete, you'll think she's the most serious person ever. But if you actually get to hang out with her, she's so fun. And and you really get to see both sides. And I learned how to compete through her. You go in juniors diving and you have fun with it, but you get into college and you really learn how to compete, and she's a great example of how to compete.
So what is the difference, for people maybe that don't know, what's the real difference between the 1 meter and the 3 meter in terms of how you attack it?
I guess diving is all based on confidence. So I am a lot more confident on the lower one. So I kind of just gotta gaslight myself into thinking it's the same thing once I'm up there, and I'm like, you know what, this is easy, let's do it. And so yeah. Do you
just similar dives between the two, or is it different? Completely different?
You normally add another flip the higher you go.
Right.
So if you're doing 1.5 flips, you normally do 2.5 on the 3 meter.
Brooke Earley is joining us, senior diver at the University of Arizona. I think she's got a really cool backstory in that we mentioned she's from Southern California. She's from a family of divers. Her dad dove at USC. Her mom dove at UCLA. She dives at Arizona, and her twin brother dives at Arizona State.
So he goes to Arizona State. He does not dive there. No.
Oh, okay, all right.
No.
I misconstrued that. He's just a student over there.
Yes.
Okay.
The enemy.
Right. But what was that like for you to grow up in a family, a Bruin and a Trojan? What was that?
Yeah,
like?
No, that was super cool.
Because I'm a Trojan, I told you.
Yes, yes. It was actually really cool. So my mom actually started at ASU diving there, and she ended up moving over to UCLA and diving over there, not for their team apparently, but diving with the coach there.
Okay.
And yeah, it was actually super cool seeing the fact that they were college divers. And then my grandpa also went to the Olympics for diving. So growing up with divers, you'd think it was a lot of pressure, but actually they knew the pressures that came with it, and they were actually the complete opposite. And that was amazing, and they're always so supportive, and I love it.
Now, obviously, you work primarily with Dwight Dumais, but did you have any interaction with the new swim coach, and kind of what's his effect on the program so far?
Oh, awesome. I love him. He is super influential. I have meetings with him all the time. I'm captain on the team, so
nice.
we have meetings every once in a while to try and get the dive team incorporated with the swim team and the women's team with the men's team. And it's all about building the team culture up. And I think it's needed, and he's amazing for that. So.
And journalism grad, I understand you want to do this someday?
It was the goal, but then the idea was to go, and I got the travel bug, and I felt like that was really hard to do sports journalism as much as I really wanted to do it. So then I also did a PR and marketing minor. So I don't know, I might do marketing grad school.
Okay.
I don't know. Or I might just go and live in Europe. I don't know. We'll see.
There you go. I'm sure you'll figure it out and then be great at whatever that entails. Hey, we appreciate you stopping by, Brooke. Continued success as you guys kind of get into the spring season and Big 12 championships and NCAAs, and finish strong with the last part of this career.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brooke Earley, senior diver at the University of Arizona. That is going to wrap up our show for today.